What up, infidels? Welcome back. It's been a little bit. Another Dangerous Brown episode here. And we got Truthy.
Hi, friends.
Hey, we're back with Truthy. I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit. You know how it is. We do this live. But yeah, hopefully things are going well. Hopefully things are going good. Truthy, how was your last month? That's the last time it's been over a month, actually.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Right.
It's been nice seeing you out there on the road.
Yeah,
Honestly, I've been living vicariously through your stories on Instagram, playing giant theaters with Chris D'Elia.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I haven't done anything remotely that cool.
Oh, you know what's crazy? So we were doing shows at Stockton.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently while we were there was a serial killer just roaming around the streets. And you know what's wild is after the show, every single person that came up and talked to us was like, "Man, you better get out of here. This place is dangerous." And they said it like that, but like they were like, "Oh, they're not kidding at all."
It's a work hazard. When you're a stand-up comedian, sometimes you have to go to where the serial killers are.
Yeah. That's when people are the most ready to laugh. When there's an active serial killer, they need something to take their minds off of it.
Yeah.
So
there's like a high chance someone's gonna leave your show and Did anyone make a joke about getting murdered?
No. So I actually didn't know. So everyone kept telling us it was dangerous. Yeah. I actually didn't know about the serial killer there until I got back, and then I was like, "Oh my God, there was just a serial killer there." Just there, and you know, I fit the demographic of the people he was killing. Just anybody. That's what it seemed like.
Anyone.
I think he was walking around the street just killing. I believe it was specifically Mexican people. I think there was a race element involved.
Yeah, you could be like misunderstood
as Mexican. Yeah. Absolutely. Sure. Definitely in the eyes of a serial killer for sure.
The wrong outfit. You're like, I'm doing my laundry. I'm gonna put on my overalls.
Yeah. Oh man, it's laundry day. It's just sombreros and maracas. That's the only thing I have to wear. So, yeah. So that was happening while we were in Stockton, and I did think it was hilarious. I did think that it was crazy that like that everyone was just telling us like how dangerous that place was, and you know what? When you came in, you got the feeling like, oh, this place is dangerous.
Yeah.
But the theater there. It's one of the best shows I've ever had in my life.
What was it like, bro?
Oh my God! I was just like 2,000 plus people. I don't know the exact number. Because I was just like, man, I gotta go out there and just perform. And it's like performing in theaters is way different than performing in a club. It's way different. It's like because you have to slow down because when you talk, your voice has to go to the back of the room. Damn. So you have to let that happen. Let the back of the room hear it. And then when they laugh, you have to wait for the back of the room's laugh to hit you. Like you can't. The timing that you learn in a club is way different than what you learn in a theater.
That's crazy.
Theater, you have to slow it down, and you have way less time than you have less time than you think.
Yeah. Or
like not less time than you think, but like what normally covered maybe 10 minutes at a club is like 8 minutes, 7 minutes if you're like killing it at a theater.
Yeah.
You know,
that's wild.
Like it's and maybe even less. You feel no. So it's like that was interesting to get like a hold of because like especially because I'm here at Vulcan and I have these home clubs.
Yeah,
I'm good at you've sort of figured out the timing at the club and you're like play it and then you have to be like at the theater I'd be like say a joke, hold it back, then say it.
That's the opposite of Vulcan.
Yeah, it's just the opposite of any sort of small venue. Yeah. This is more of a. A club is more of like I don't know. The club is more of like to me like a little bit more of a fight.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it can be electric. It can be like a good fight is electric and you feel close and you're like it and then like a theater is more like a choreographed dance.
Yeah.
Like more of a more of a choreographed scene and more. It just that's how I describe it.
Was it or do you have like the bug now? Are you like, oh, I want to do 2,000 people theaters for the rest of my life or what?
I mean, I would love to. I would love to be in that situation where like I personally sell out 2,000 seats. That'd be amazing.
Can't wait.
Yeah. That's definitely like, oh, that's a goal of mine. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But right now I want to get great at clubs. Like take my time. I don't want to go to theaters too quickly because that is a thing that can happen.
There are a lot of famous comedians who still do better in clubs than in theaters.
Yeah. Well, you come up in a club, so you just sort of, and sometimes a club is like a better environment for a comedy show. Yeah. A club gets edgy and like get a little more raw. A theater is like, way more like official and like
Yeah.
you know, like usually like a club is a good place to work out jokes, and a theater like if you can do theater clubs, like if you're that type of person who can sell out theaters, what they'll do is they'll do a club, like either their home club or they'll do a bunch of clubs on a tour, and they'll be working out their hour, and it won't be ready, so you get to see a little more raw version of the hour, and then when they're in theaters, that's their like, oh, they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, even the biggest
fan, I'm usually like, I was just thinking about all the comedians I like. To be honest with you, I think it's way funnier, like the YouTube clips of podcasts and the club shows. I think they're funnier than like the specials. Like I put those videos on way more than specials. Right,
specials are hard. Like
it's hard,
at least what we're seeing now, especially with like there's so many specials and you're flooded with specials. Like, so specials have gone from like this big thing, like this is me showcasing my hour. This guy, this comic, you would have never like up until now. Let's just say up to the early 2010s, you would not have seen any of this person's stuff outside of the special. Really, you know what I mean? Like a special was their interest. Like this is my material to the world, and now the game has shifted so much that everything's a clip online. There's, you know what I mean? There's
you don't need the special.
You don't need the special, and the special has just become a way of delivering content. So like
it was the only way for a while, right?
Yes, but then because it was the only way, there was an idea for I think it's Chris Rock said something like, I don't see a bunch of specials, I see a bunch of regulars. Do you feel what I'm saying? Where it's like where because it used to be the only way, the special had to be, you know, your best go, and now people film specials for expressly to cut them up for Reels and TikTok, to the point where like I have seen Reels and TikTok of specials that weren't that good. I don't think we're good at all, but the clips go unreal viral.
I'd say Bo Burnham's the special king right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
opinion, if I'm gonna watch a special, the way he puts it together,
yes, okay,
insanity, bro.
Yes, I mean, Bo Burnham is, you know, arguably one of the greatest artists of our generation. I absolutely believe that.
I like you, DeStefano, and Bo.
Well, that's a great
my top three.
Hey, I'll put that's high. That's high.
Chris Rock number 4.
Yeah, that's high. That's a high company to be with. But
congrats on your trip, by the way.
Yeah.
What else? Where else did you go?
Well, hold on. Let me. Okay. I'll go over the material. Let me just say what I was going to say about Burnham. Is that those aren't like while those are like his every single special I've watched of his I've loved.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. He's not obvious. These aren't like, especially the last one isn't a stand-up comedy special.
No, it's not. You're
right. No,
it's
his own. Bo Burnham is just like it's like with him. It's like whenever he releases art, it's art, and then I'm gonna watch. Yeah. I wouldn't describe that as stand-up.
I was at a small club and they announced. And I was at a stand-up comedy show, and they announced, like, we have a special guest coming to the stage, Bo Burnham. And he walks in. I go to do the standing ovation. Yeah. And I look around, just clapping alone.
Yeah.
Like, no one knew who he was. I'm like, what the fuck?
How long ago was this?
This was like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. He was very famous by then. That's very interesting.
It was. People just didn't even appreciate it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's a man.
That's so funny. That Bo, like, yeah. Oh, that's a standing ovation.
He was like,
guy.
Thanks, man. I'm like,
but yeah, so the trip was great. I mean, it was mostly in the Bay Area, but I just did a bunch of stuff. I featured for my boy Brian Simpson. That was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, just I did 7 weekends in a row with somebody. Like either here at Cap City, at like Vulcan, just.
When you open for Chris D'Elia, do you guys like hang out? Like, does he talk to you about your career? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah. No, I mean, backstage we talk. It's very fun. It's a very fun hang. It's very good. I'm a big riffer. He likes I like riffing, so it's like I do well with any riffer.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. But yeah. It's like, but I don't. So the shows I did with him were near my parents' place, so it's not like I traveled with him or anything.
Yeah.
I just showed up to the shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good, and we because when you come up as Comedy Store guys.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about Comedy Store wise.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
You end up catching up. And it's a good way of seeing like who in LA, like what people are up to in LA.
That's awesome. I've hung out with him a few times before.
Right.
And he's always really nice and he remembers who you are. Like, I remember back when he was in LA before he got famous.
Right.
And he would be at the clubs. You know me. I was like a fan. I was like going up to him, and it was always. He was actually already famous, and he was still being very nice to people.
Yes.
He's being really nice to people all the time, man. Yeah.
But yeah, that was ooh. We have the dog is running around him.
My dog just hit the tripod.
Yeah.
What's that blinking red light on your camera?
Oh, that's to know that it's
Recording. Even the other. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Show business.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Oh, this is I want to talk about this. I did this on my Instagram recently because I was curious. So the Dahmer thing.
Oh my god.
The Dahmer thing on Netflix.
Hated it. I watched all of it. I hate it so much.
Oh really? I've watched the first episode. It was like, wow, I was like, oh, this is intense. I have a feeling that this guy, the guy who plays Dahmer, kills it. But more than one way, I guess. But
I'm just trying not to laugh, bro. Bro, it's really funny. It's so sad. It's such a sad movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's an incredibly sad story, incredibly fascinating story, right? So the Dahmer thing happens on Netflix. It's like Netflix's biggest show, one of those biggest shows ever, right?
Yeah.
So I was curious. I put this poll up on my Instagram. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see it.
Okay, but here's the poll. The poll was, who do you think has a higher approval rating in the United States? Jeffrey Dahmer or Colin Kaepernick? And so I put out the poll, and what I think happened is Jeffrey Dahmer won 80% to 20%. And I don't know if it's that drastic if you were to give that poll out to all the American people, but I think Dahmer would get more votes than Kaepernick would.
For president?
Yes, for president. If they had to pick. Or like just favorability rating. I was just like, who do you think has a bigger favorability rating? And I really do think Dahmer does have over Kaepernick.
Can I say one thing about that?
What?
Is that there's this weird thing in the world where people, like Carnage, people don't have a respect for Carnage because we haven't seen it in so long.
Right.
Like, people are like, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer is like this like hyper pop murder culture thing. And, oh, World War III, oh, that would suck.
Right.
But there's no understanding of, like, how, like, these things are, like, as a culture, we've come to almost, like, celebrate tragedy in a weird way. I don't know how to put it, bro, but I think it's, like, the same shit where people are like, yeah, fuck with Dahmer more than Kaepernick. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Well, there is that where it's, like, we haven't been exposed to, like, violence in a way that maybe a lot of the other rest of the world has. Now the dog is eating the thing, but also, and I do have to say this.
Go ahead.
You know, and this is a harsh thing to say, but like people like it. People like people who are good at their jobs.
Oh my god.
People like people. People respect people who are good at their jobs. And Dahmer was a way better serial killer than Kaepernick was quarterback. Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, like, bro, Dahmer decapitating people. Kaepernick couldn't even take the top off a defense. Do you understand? Like, it's like there's. Whoa, hold on. Oh wow,
Melody is biting this thing. Hold on.
Yeah, this is like a thing. This is like a thing going on.
Too funny.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi, sweetie.
Oh man.
Hi.
Man, just doesn't understand that it's not a toy. That is the joy of a dog. So.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest a collab TV show.
Okay.
Tell me if you're into it.
Okay.
A mixture of Dahmer and Undercover Boss.
A mixture of and he just shows up to like some random serial killer.
No, the boss is the serial killer.
The boss is
like,
the serial killer.
if you're doing a bad job at work, he murders you.
He just kills you.
He just kills you.
But it's also a reality show, so it's the actual CEO of the company.
Yeah.
Just murdering you.
Yeah.
God.
And if you don't get murdered, you get to testify him in court.
Right. Oh man. You know what's funny? There is those CEOs that are just into just the weird shit like that. But yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't surprised that Dahmer came out on top. Like, as I put the poll up, I was like, man, I know for a fact Dahmer's going to destroy. It wasn't even close to a question.
I think it's because America really cares about our football, and we all saw his recent workouts, and his deep ball just doesn't have it.
No, it doesn't have it. One, it doesn't have it.
I'll take a serial killer over a backup NFL quarterback.
Yeah, you know what it is? Also, Kaepernick made the NFL political. In a way,
that's our one thing.
Yeah. That was the one thing that was like that we could all agree on, and he took that away from us. Also, I guess people, this is America. You know, it's more popular to kill a bunch of black people than to stand up for them.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, let's
hate
be
the
honest.
show. I mean, you're right, and that's part of why the show has made me so sick. Is like, it's not only what he did that's so disgusting, but America's reaction to the show and it being a spectacle, I think, is a double whammy of like shame, and like I feel so bad. I feel like the whole thing is so like it's coming at the world doesn't need Dahmer. We need fucking like give peace a chance. Like for real.
Okay, yeah. I get what you mean.
Shit.
Well, it is crazy that they just didn't talk to the fucking who did they not talk to? Oh yeah, they didn't.
Therapist?
No. They didn't talk to the victims' families. They didn't like. It's like you gotta at least.
They just Netflix just wants to make money.
Well,
I think it's gonna blow up in their face in the long run.
No, but you got. I don't think so because they know. The reality is that people in America have this giant murder boner.
I know, but I think as a company, they have. I think in the future, you know, just like the Me Too movement, at some point, there will be an uprising against companies who are like making money off of these horrible murder stories. There's going to be a school shooting, and like Netflix puts out like a Parkland movie, and like someone at some point, like it has to stop because you can't keep making it all into content. What is it? Just a whole Netflix full of like real life murder? Like
yeah. I mean, first of all, you say that like that's a bad idea that someone's 100% coming up with.
Every time there's a new shooting in real life, they just make a show of it.
Absolutely.
Every time.
Absolutely. It's content. Everything is content. We live in a content-based society.
Where's the line?
It's a content-based economy. This is a content-based economy. So there is no line until people can feel secure in life without having to make content. But, first of all, you said that like, oh, is there going to be like some true crime Netflix? You shouldn't say that out loud again because it's a great idea that you should develop. Yeah, because you know how much money you would make for a true crime streaming service?
It's just low budget true crime.
No, I mean, not even if like you'd have to be super rich, but if you got all the rights to like Forensic Files and Law and Orders and NCISs, which you probably couldn't do, but if you could ever really make a true crime streaming service, that would be one of the most popular streaming services of all time. Of all time.
Nice.
Not even close. Nice. Not even close. That's how big. I mean, I love true crime stuff.
Or what if we do? You know how they're doing like influencer boxing matches?
What
if we start doing serial killer boxing matches?
Man, that'd be pretty dope. I don't know if there's that many serial killers left. Oh, there probably are, but we
just have Nicholas Cruz like fight the shit out of like. I don't know any of these other dumb fucks.
Oh yeah. The Nicholas Cruz versus the guy in Chicago who had the musician.
Which guy?
Remember he was shot up in the Chicago July 4th?
Kanye versus Nicholas Cruz?
No. He was you used to live in this city in Chicago? Didn't you say you used to live around there? Highland Park.
The Highland
Park shooter versus the Parkland shooter, celebrity deathmatch.
Celebrity deathmatch.
But like for real. Like
Like one of them dies.
Yeah, one of them dies. I would be down for that. That would be fun.
Why can't we vote on that?
Yeah, let's make that let's make it a spectacle.
Yeah. All right. Well, what else is going on, man?
Oh man, let's see. I did
a list. I'm very impressed. I'm here. I'm along for the ride. Mm-hmm. It's an honor to be on Dangerous Brown podcast. Really, one of the honors of my life.
All right. So, just 3 more things written down. And let's do an NFL update right now.
Oh God, yes.
Yes. First of all, at the start of the season, you were very high on the Chargers. You said, and I quote, the building blocks of a dynasty. This is how you describe the Chargers.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Chargers now?
I have experienced a lot of pain and suffering. You're like, when you asked me earlier how my last 5 weeks have been, all I thought about is the Chargers because we suck. Yeah. We suck, bro. Like, we're getting murdered, and the Rams are balling. Yeah, we suck.
Well, Rams are really not balling either. We'll get to that, but
the Chargers are sucking. And
Chargers are a cursed franchise, man. I don't know how else to say it. They just are.
We've been losing game. We are the Chargers. I just text my Chargers friends, and we just cry together, and the vibe is so bad. I feel like I'm a Bears fan. I feel like I was living a normal human life, and then I became like a Bears fan.
Melody?
Like the NFL tragedy has just brought its way into my life, bro, in a bad way.
Yeah. Damn. So you started off as a Bears fan? Oh wait, you lived in
I feel like a Bears
fan.
Oh,
you feel like a Bears fan.
I was living my normal life in LA. I'm like, I'm gonna be a Chargers fan. Now my life sucks.
Yeah, well, you chose the Chargers. Chargers are, like I said, cursed franchise.
Cursed as fuck.
Cursed.
Yeah.
Cursed.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. No, because I mean, no amount of how. I mean, Justin Herbert's great, although hurt. Chargers are hurt too.
Yeah, no one's healthy.
Yeah, well,
Mike Williams is balling.
Mike Williams is doing well.
Melody, come here, girl.
Yeah. Niners also very sad about how the Niners season's turning out, for sure.
They suck too. Jimmy Garoppolo is not good at football.
You know what's funny?
Can we finally agree on this?
Okay, I will say this. Okay, so this is what I'll say. It sucked that Trey Lance went out. Jimmy Garoppolo is mediocre at football. He's not like I would put the Atlanta loss that we just lost on our receivers because he was throwing deep balls and they were dropping everything. Yeah. They dropped at least 2 or 3 deep balls that would have kept us in the game. Everyone's bad. Yeah. Except for the 5 teams that are great, everyone's bad.
College is better this year.
It might be
more entertaining this year. The
it
NFL,
might be.
Here's the thing: is that Baker in Cleveland was interesting. Now it's just sad.
Yeah. Now, I will say this: as bad as Jimmy Garoppolo has been, it's like the teams that could have traded for him. The Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
And the Steelers. Both of those quarterbacks are worse than Jimmy.
Yeah.
Trubisky and Baker are both worse than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And that is a fact.
Yeah. It's a weird NFL season.
It's weird. Everyone in the NFC sucks except for the 3 teams in the NFC East, and then everyone else sucks.
The Eagles are undefeated?
Yeah. Eagles are
what?
Yeah, Eagles are undefeated.
What?
There was a lot of Eagles Super Bowl talk at the beginning of the season. And now we're watching it come through true, and it's like,
I would absolutely love. At this point, I might root for the Eagles.
Really? Yeah, that's very LA of you to just ban it. You're just giving up on the Chargers season.
I've given up. Yeah. Well, I've realized that I've signed up for like maybe 20 years of pain, but I'm here for it. I have no getting out of this.
Right. All right.
I am a Chargers fan, bro.
Right. So, but you're already you're already bandwagoning now. You think it's over already.
I need to start watching someone to have fun. I've stopped having fun.
Okay. So yeah, I get what you mean.
Watching the Chargers games has sucked. If you're
Right.
a Chargers fan right now, you're like, yes, fuck this.
Yeah. Okay, so you need to pick a team that when you watch them, you're like, oh, this is what good football looks like.
Feel good football.
I feel you. I do feel you.
Yeah.
I do
Texas is horrible.
Yeah.
We keep losing games. We lost to Texas State. We lost to Alabama. We suck.
Oh, okay. First of all, I don't think we suck I don't think Texas sucks. We lost to Alabama and Texas State because the number 1 quarterback was injured. Quinn Ewers is good.
Yeah, but our secondary is mad soft.
Yeah. Yes.
Mad soft.
Yes.
Which was our problem last year, and we can't guard anyone. So.
But with Quinn Ewers' offense, if Quinn Ewers is in, I think Texas is still undefeated. If he doesn't get injured for those 2 weeks, Texas is still undefeated.
Yeah,
he was balling against Alabama before he got hurt.
But how Texas is it for your starting quarterback to get hurt like in the first game?
Yeah. That is also very Texas.
Very
against Alabama, specifically. That's very Texas. Yeah, absolutely.
The Manning kid who's coming here is going to get injured in his first start.
Oh man.
Replay this when he starts.
Jesus. Don't put that in the universe.
ACL game 1. That Texas quarterback.
That's what they do.
Ever since Vince Young got his DUI, he cursed the team.
Damn. But yeah. That's that. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Archie Manning to come here. That's gonna be interesting. It's gonna change the complexion of the city. Like in an already big city, an already growing city, to have a Manning come here, that's huge.
Woo, it's like the NFL's coming.
Yeah. It's like the NFL's coming.
It's going to be sports history watching him play, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be going to games. Absolutely.
It's going to be $300 for nosebleeds.
Oh, yeah.
To Toledo.
Of course. Yeah. Just to see Archie Manning play.
Just see that kid throw a ball.
Oh, man, but he throws it so well. That's the thing. We like people who are good at their jobs.
We like
Dahmer, Manning. What's the difference?
Sarah Palin.
Yeah. Great. She got to vice president almost.
Who could be Sarah Palin better than Sarah Palin?
No one else can.
Oh, she's so good at it.
Isn't she doing a reality show now?
I hope so.
She seems like there was some like grown up Palin or something like that. But yeah. We just that's what it is. We like people who are good at their jobs. That's why Dahmer and Manning are the same person. Take that away. Dahmer and Manning, same people. Might as well be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think of. Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, Melly.
What's up?
We got a barker on.
Yeah, no, for real. Need attention.
Hi, honey. Come here.
Need attention. This is the only podcast where there's a dog in the middle of it.
What other podcast do you get a dog barking from off camera?
Yeah. All right. I read this. Apparently, in the last 2 years, 90% of crabs have died. As he fights with the dog.
Oh my god.
Yeah. In the last 2 years, 90% of crabs have died. Yeah, they've had to cancel the Alaska crab season. I think it's like the king crab season, the Alaskan king crab season. They had to cancel that.
What a shame.
Yeah. That's the deadliest catch, not this year, because 1 billion crabs are missing. Quote, missing.
Where do you think the crabs went?
Just not being born, just being boiled alive by the hot-ass ocean.
Do you think that's what happened?
Yeah, it's global warming.
Do you think it's global warming?
Oh, hey, yeah.
Really?
Hey, absolutely.
That's interesting.
1 billion crabs?
But hold on.
Right.
Because I'm taking it seriously. If that's the case, is like, okay, why? If in 1 year, 90%.
2 years, 90%.
2 years, 90% of a species like that.
Right.
That seems like it's an emergency.
Oh, it's been at an emergency for
and
a
now
while.
It's showing up, yeah.
Yeah,
No
it's been at an
overfishing,
emergency, but no one can. It's not gonna matter because these oil companies are making money. The number one stop to any sort of climate reform are these oil companies, and they're making money hand over fist, and they will continue to do so until everyone dies.
Should we all just like storm OPEC and like murder all of them?
Well, first of all, hypothetically, we're not saying definitely don't do that. I mean, hey, someone's got to do it, not us, or anyone no one that listens here.
Here's what's gonna happen. OPEC is gonna keep charging more and more people for oil until we're all in the streets anyway, because people aren't gonna be able to live.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reality is like no, we just.
How long are they gonna keep the world hostage or whatever?
We need other sources of energy.
Yeah,
but
we do.
Yeah, 90% of the crabs are gone. And I will say this. One of my friends, shout out Sam Lopez, she brags about Maryland and their crabs and how great they are. And now she'll just have to shut the fuck up about it. I won't have to hear about in like 3 years. I won't have to hear about any goddamn crabs. This is gonna be so good.
Oh man,
so good.
No more. Melody is making a move over here.
Yeah,
she wants to
real.
be on the pod so
I
bad.
know.
Hi, honey.
Yeah, no. It's
so no more crabs.
No more crabs. Isn't that wild?
No more crabs.
Dude, I like that. We're gonna have to slowly get used to.
They're gonna have to redraw SpongeBob with a bunch of dead crabs everywhere.
Yeah. Just the death of Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs.
You know what?
What?
The Krusty Krab can keep going because Pearl is a whale. She gets in the family business.
She inherited the Krusty Krab.
Yeah.
Now she's hotter.
Yeah, she's a business owner. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Pearl already super hot. Now.
So hot.
Yeah. But yeah, isn't that I think we're slowly gonna have to get ready to. She has it again. Get ready to just live in a world where there's just less animals. Like we might have to like explain to our kids like what a zebra is. And shit like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like we're gonna damn. Is that gonna affect the sound?
No.
Okay.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Melody.
Oh, that might affect it. That might affect things.
Melly belly.
Dude, she's just pulling on the cord to the. But yeah, we're just gonna live like. It'll be interesting. I think about this all the time too, because I get poke every week. I get poke, stay woke. That's what I say. But I do think that we're just gonna live in a world where, man, like I won't get to eat poke very often because there's just not that much more fish. I think she has it again. Oh man,
we're gonna have to power through it.
Yeah, you're gonna power through. Can she not be in her cage for the rest of this?
Yeah, I'm gonna put her in a cage.
It's time. It's time, Melody. We tried. Melody. We tried. She's gonna whine. Let's. Oh man, just dogs in their cages.
They put people in those in China.
Yeah, China, America. We put the most people in them.
In the world.
Although Biden said he's pardoning all like marijuana, like all possession, simple possession.
Yeah.
Those are getting pardoned.
So everyone is getting out of jail who did the weed stuff.
Hopefully, that's what he said. But with a lot of these like political things, you're like, how much is it of he's just saying it, and how much is that actually gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I've heard he said that. Has he done it? I don't know.
How many people are out of jail?
Mm-hmm. It's also crazy that like, it was really annoying that Biden waited, and it was smart, but he waited until right before the midterms to do anything. He did absolutely nothing. his first 2 years, it felt like. And then when the midterms came and like when it was time for elections, then it was time to do stuff.
It all makes me nervous, bro. I think we are like flirting with like actual nuclear war and stuff.
Oh, okay. You
Everything
think so?
about it makes me nervous. Like
You
the
think
whole.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so here's my question, because you say you think we're flirting with nuclear war, but isn't this just what we lived through in the 50s through 80s? Like, because we didn't live through that. I mean, no, how can you say that so surely though? Like, I'm sure if we were to travel back in time
because
and
the ground war already started. That's the difference. Is there's a ground war happening that is. Here's the thing. I feel you. Maybe not. I'm not trying to be alarmist. All I'm saying is there's a ground war in Ukraine happening.
Right.
He took the cities on the east. He's like annexing them.
Right.
He evacuated all civilians out of them.
Mm-hmm.
If from here on out in the next 8 weeks, I'd say there is a weird chance of a tactical nuke being used, and that makes me nervous. That's why I'm saying the whole thing just. This is the window.
You think
this is the window? You
think there's a tactical nuke that's about to be used?
No. In 8 weeks, we'll know if he's bluffing or not. But he appears to be getting ready to. If anyone tries to retake the eastern region, he's gonna fire.
Yeah, but
that's what this is.
But this is the same thing. This is what I said. This is like. Because you say no, like it's not the same as last year, but last time. But last time there were a bunch of proxy wars going on.
Were there?
Yeah, the Vietnam War was a proxy war. What's going on in Afghanistan that led to what's going on in Afghanistan now was a proxy war. Like it's all like it just, to me this is like all just the same, and I just don't. Okay, I will say I was gonna say I don't think that anyone will be too fucking egomaniac enough to pull the plug on nuclear weapons, but we're dealing with egomaniacs.
You know
so
what
I don't
feel bad about?
I will say this. I hope that they don't decide to pull that string.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be insanity. Just at a certain point, you can't. These egos, they're like the will of the people is gonna break. At a certain point, the will of the people. You can have a tight control over the country, and if you push too far, the will of the people eventually will show itself. Look at what's happening in Iran. The Islamic Republic is I think they call it the Islamic Republic, or like whatever the whoever held power in there held it tightly for so long, and now people are pushing back. They're like, hey, you killed this girl for not wearing a hijab. That's fucked up. This is something that should be our choice. It shouldn't be forced upon us, and now we'll fight in the streets. And if I had to guess, Iran at this time probably wasn't going through the best time economically for its lower and middle classes. That probably helped lead to this. Like, this was probably the last straw on the camel's back of whatever's going on there, because I don't know what's going on in there. You know, but it's like...
I know there's no going back. Like, the whole country is like...
No, they've made a choice. They've made a choice. And good for them. They're fighting. The people are fighting for what they want.
The men just need to come to terms with letting women be themselves, and life continues.
But okay, yeah, but right. But this is the sort of paradox of what you're saying. Like, oh, men, like in the Iran situation, men just gotta step aside. But it's like it's not just men who enforce these rules. It's women as well.
Women too, yeah.
It's women as well. If you were to look at the breakdown of abortion in America, I think you would be surprised about the amount of women who are against abortion and who would vote against it. That's the reason why stuff like that, like, that's the reason why they can take control over there. There's morality police over there that are women.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a men thing; it's a whole societal thing.
With everyone selling their things, there's been a lot of hijab postings on Craigslist.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's.
You know what I was gonna say? You know what I feel bad about?
What?
With Afghanistan?
What?
Is they never got a thoughts and prayers round on social media.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Afghanistan, like, we need to do like
it was before thoughts and prayers were huge.
Yeah, now and then we left, and they somehow, like, during that whole thing, and when we left, there was never a round of thoughts and prayers.
The Taliban
We should
won.
do some thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, that's true. That's why the Taliban won. There weren't enough thoughts and prayers sent their way. So everyone, let's send our thoughts and prayers.
If America learned one thing in Afghanistan,
is that
we should have done more
thoughts and prayers, right? Because thoughts and prayers work. But yeah,
the prayers part is the issue.
Yeah. But yeah,
Can you imagine bringing a bunch of thoughts to Afghanistan?
Man, they would be like, what?
That'd be a great vlog. I brought 10
thoughts. Because they would be like,
cool.
oh, these are the 72 virgins that they were talking about. Like, they just would have thought.
They're like, no, they're not virgins.
Yeah.
They're the thoughts that you'll have to explain.
That's true.
These are the opposite of the virgins.
Yeah, let them put let
these men
let
are
them
just
fuck you.
disgusted by these supermodels.
Right.
No,
yeah.
thank you.
I'm just I'm just what was it? FK? Yeah.
No.
But yeah, just like that's what I mean. It's like I think before this is the whole reason I brought up Iran and stuff. I think the whole thing before we pull the trigger on nuclear war, I would hope that the people would rise up against it, and I hope that we would too. Given that if we had a leader that would pull the trigger, and now that I said that out loud, I don't know if I trust us to do that. Americans don't revolt. We're very pacified with stuff.
If Putin fires a tactical nuke into East Ukraine during an offensive of taking these cities back, if he fires one, and what do you do?
Well, I do nothing because I can't do anything. But what is that?
If you were president of the United States,
hey,
he uses a small tactical nuclear weapon that is like, the big ones crush cities, the smaller ones crush like high schools.
Okay, right. But if you use a nuclear weapon, what would I do? You know what I do? This is the first thing I do. I call China. I go, hey.
Hey, she.
Yeah, hey. Like, cause this guy just used a nuclear weapon. This is the world we live in now. What are we gonna do? Like, I would use this to strengthen some sort of tie with China. Just be like, hey, look, and to drive a wedge between China and Russia, because Russia just used a nuke on a neighbor, and now he'd be like, yo, China, Russia just used a nuke on a neighbor.
Okay, so what are you gonna do if you get a call?
Right.
As you're on the call with your assistant goes, China just fired a nuke at Taiwan. And then you're on the call with What do you say to him then while you're on the call?
Damn. And it's like, I would be like, yo, is this what it's going to be? Is it going to be nuke? Yeah. Is it going to
it's going to be that. And then he goes, this is what it is.
This is what it is. Then I guess we have to, now
do we wake up and we don't do anything? Because maybe that is the answer if this happens. I think there's this weird agreement where if they fire them, we will be firing them. Maybe even if they fire them, we shouldn't fire them. Like, who are we going to what civilians are we going to kill? Why?
Right.
What the fuck are we even talking about?
Right.
Why would we fire them?
Right. I guess
I don't know.
I guess we do nothing but we're just so much economically we have tied over there that if they knew also, but they would all, if we nuke Taiwan, then all of a sudden, where did the computer chips come from? You know what I mean? Like, if they knew Taiwan, then where did the computer chips come from? Like, there might just be some economic retaliation. I don't know. I think whoever sends the first nuke, you can get the rest of the world to be like, we gotta take this guy out. I think whoever
sends in Russia, I feel bad. I have some really good. I know some dudes in Russia who are really awesome.
Right.
Some of my Russian friends, like some of the smartest, nicest, hardworking guys in the world. There's a lot of people in that country that are really intense or whatever. But Putin doesn't represent their people. I do know people there that I love. That's the thing is, I don't want anyone to have to experience. Even the people in Russia, I feel bad for, man. Like,
definitely.
They didn't ask for this.
No, yeah, they didn't ask for it at all. And I will say this, and this is going back to my Iran thing. And this sounds crazy to say because Iran's in the news a lot now. And when I was in college or early college, late high school, I read this book called Persepolis. It's this graphic novel, and it's about a woman's a woman's perspective of growing up during the Islamic Revolution in Japan and in Iran, not Japan, sorry, in Iran. And I'm a young kid, but you're so used to viewing people as if someone's Iranian, you're used to looking at them as like, oh, that's that person over there. That's not you think of them as some faraway thing, and you don't think of them as people. And I read this book, and it was just a realization of just like, oh yeah, of course they're people. You know what I mean? In the news, they're this entity.
Yeah.
But I read the book, and it just I felt so stupid afterwards. I was like, oh, duh, they're people. Of course they're people. They're not
regular people.
Yeah, they're not this. They're not Iran. This group who thinks this way. There was a part in the book where she just wants to go to her friend's house and listen to music, and she can't do that. And as a human being, I empathize with that because that's some of the best memories as a kid is just showing friends to music to friends and having friends show music to you. And that's like, it's just such a human thing. And it's like, oh, she doesn't get to experience that. And it's like, oh, duh. But like, if you listen to the, what's in the media and if you listen to the news, you're like, oh, those are those people over there and they all think this way. And it's like, you forget to separate like what they are in sort of the international stage because of what you're being fed about them as to like, oh, most people are just trying,
and especially
most people are just trying to eat, relax, and fuck.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Anyone's rights who are being taken away, I feel like there's this like weird assumption that, oh, if you're American, you deserve rights. But all over the world, like if your rights are taken, like too bad. Like, no, like, in China, the way they like spy on their people, it's not like people in China want to be spied. They can't speak up. There's a firewall. Right. We don't like like everyone in these countries is silently suffering. That's the sad part is that behind these guys who get all the attention are like billions of regular people, billions.
Right. I think the default human mode is suffering though. I think suffering is life. The default human mode is like
we enjoy like we're very lucky to live in the U.S. and enjoy the lifestyle we do.
Right.
I'm very fucking grateful for it every day.
Right.
We could have easily be waking up in even like Italy, which you look at as like, oh, this nice place. Like it's falling apart. Germany, falling apart right now.
Everywhere's falling apart. Everywhere's falling apart.
Yeah.
But I think everywhere is always falling apart. I think everywhere is always falling apart constantly. I do think about this all the time. I think society, for however long it's existed, has always felt precarious. Has always felt like, man, if these 2 or 3 strings get cut, this all falls to the ground.
They do, and it always does.
Every society falls for sure. But I feel like it always feels like that in general. And if you don't feel that, that's probably when you're most vulnerable to it happening. When you feel like, oh, this could just go on. That's when you're like,
that was the 2000s.
Well, that's how some people feel now. I think where it's like, oh, you gotta look like a lot of people can't get clean water. The crabs are gone. Like, things are being cut, and people are like, we're gonna go ahead, and it's like, I think but like I said, maybe it's always felt this way. I saw this quote from Jimmy Carter back in the 70s where he's like, our democracy is on its last legs or some shit like that, where it was basically like it's the darkest days and it's close to ending, and it's like. Damn. But I think but that was like 60 years ago, and I think maybe it's 50 years ago. Maybe it's always like that.
Yeah.
Like, maybe even at the height of ancient Rome, if I would say, in terms of greatest civilizations, I would put Rome as number 1 because of how long it lasted and how much of it has lasted.
Yeah.
And how much we know about it. But even at the height of the Roman Empire, or the Roman living, where it was at the height of its peak as a civilization, it probably also felt like, damn, is this about to end around the corner?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you and I are safe, and I feel for everyone. Yeah. And it's good to use platforms, and I'm glad you talk about this stuff because all that stuff doesn't get enough attention. There's all the so.
I mean, whether or not it gets attention, I think it's just it is what it is. But yeah, I think we're at 45 minutes. I think this is a good, solid, Dangerous Brown episode.
This has been a great episode.
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of fun. Guys, go out there, watch Dahmer, support our king. Dahmer is our king. Who would win? Okay, who would win in the next election? Dahmer or Biden?
I think Dahmer would win.
I think Dahmer would win. Trump would beat Dahmer for sure. But Dahmer might be Biden. That's how much, bro. Well, that's how much we love serial killers. I don't even call them serial killers. I call them A1 celebrities. That's what they are now. Yeah. They're America's they're like A-list celebrities. Dahmer, I bet you when Netflix makes the Gacy thing, that's going to go crazy. Like because the Bundy thing went crazy, the Dahmer thing went crazy. Yeah. Gacy's next. Those are like if I would say the Mount Rushmore of serial killers are probably Dahmer, Gacy, Bundy.
Jared Kushner.
Dahmer, Gacy, Bundy, and then you gotta go Jack the Ripper, the OG. But I would say that's the Mount Rushmore of Americans. He's not American, but that's the Mount Rushmore of serial killers. And then if you're hipster, you'll be like, oh, H.H. Holmes or
Zodiac.
Yeah, Zodiac. I'll give you Zodiac.
You wear Dickies, you're like Zodiac.
I'll give you Zodiac. Okay, I would say so Zodiac could be up there. I would say BTK is also up there. Those are the two that are like. If you were to do American serial killers, you would take Ripper out, put Zodiac.
Did you see that BTS just got called into the army?
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah, they're South Korean. They have to serve.
Imagine getting killed in battle by BTS. And they're like in formation.
What is it? It's Dynamite or whatever the song is.
Charlie Puth's making a TikTok out of him getting killed by BTS.
Oh, man, yeah. I wonder what they do. They're definitely not sending BTS to the front lines.
They should. That's how you win a war, bro.
You think the Taliban's like, oh, we're K-pop stans.
The Taliban's gonna put down their guns and start taking selfies and knife them.
Imagine being killed by BTS.
Dude, imagine.
Dude, there's so many people online that are like, that's how I want to go. Like, bro, dude, K-pop fans online are crazy. Like, they're nothing to fuck with. It would be an honor
to get killed by BTS.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're nothing to fuck with. They're nothing to fuck with. They're just these. I mean, because it's like obviously I don't like I don't hate BTS. I like BTS, but I'm also like, you're not gonna it's at the second the K-pop stands get a wind of you talking about them, it's like, bro. It's like, yo,
I bet they're gonna have them
relax.
like just like controlling some drones. I bet those guys could fly some drones.
I mean, they're gonna do like cake stuff. They're not gonna. That's a big. BTS is a huge export for South Korea. They're not gonna mess that up.
Yeah, you're right. It's all
they're probably gonna shoot music videos while in the army. They're probably gonna do some shit like that.
Yeah.
If they were smart, I mean, they're not. That'd be crazy to
send them
to
to perform for Kim Jong-un, but like they're decoys.
They're sleepers.
What if they're the ones who actually can kill Kim Jong-un?
That would be. That's a plot of that's The Dictator 2.
That's The Dictator in real life.
The Interview 2 or whatever. Remember the movie where they interview Kim Jong-un? It's like that second version of that where you send a pop star.
It's called The Interview, I think, right?
yeah, it's called The Interview. It starts with Eminem coming out as gay. That's how that movie starts. Great. Eminem can act. It's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So send BTS to the front lines, and remember, hail. Just say when you pray, give thanks for Dahmer. Thank God that he's in our lives, huh? Dahmer and Manning, the same people. We'll see you soon. Infidels. We'll see you soon.